Hello everybody and welcome to episode 3 of the St. Mary's to Sayyidah Zainab London to Syria 2010 motorcycle ride. I'm today at the Ace Cafe in London and we're going to find out more about long distance motorcycling. There are many reasons why people travel across the world on motorcycles. One of them is that they get to experience the countries that they go to much more than, for example, if they were traveling by bus, aeroplane or in a car, because they're not trapped in this box. And by being out there and experiencing the environment in the air, they get to know the country much better. And sometimes people make these journeys not just for leisure, but also for charity purposes. Like, for example, we're collecting money for SOS Children's Charity in Syria when we do our motorcycle ride to Syria. And then there are others who collect, for example, for UNICEF on other journeys that they're doing here. We're speaking here to Andy Hawkins, who is doing a trip this year in September to Turkey. And Andy, tell us a little bit about your trip,
right,
and about the things that we're going to experience there.
Sure. Our trip, we set off in September. We've got 2 weeks. We're going to be doing 16 days, 12 countries. So we'll be travelling through southern Europe and across to Greece, and then out through Turkey, out to Mount Ararat, which is on the Iranian border of Turkey. Well renowned for where Noah's Ark's supposed to be, so whether we'll find it or not, I don't know. Our trip will basically be raising funds for both UNICEF and we'll be doing it for Guide Dogs for the Blind. Myself and 2 outriders will be going, support crew. And basically we're going over there because, again, like you say, we want to experience the smells, the roads and the people of the countries, because, again, as you say, on a bike, as soon as you get off a bike, you're very approachable. And it just seems a worthwhile way of raising funds and also enjoying ourselves. Like yourselves, you know, you're going out there, it's going to be seeing new places, you're going to be enjoying the atmosphere, you're going to meet new people, you're going to come back with some great stories, hopefully. And it's the little unknowns that will make the journeys the best. Going down the Black Sea coast of Bulgaria, you're going to be into beautiful tarmac there and some beautiful scenery. They have potholes, they are also, there's, you know, a lot of gravel on those roads, so you're just going to be a little bit wary, but if you know the roads, you can drive to the situation. If you're going to be doing things like the Black Sea coast, then you've got the ultimate roads. You've got beautiful tarmac running. Expect the unexpected. Expect livestock on the roads. Expect people on the road in the opposite direction. For one example, we were there one February and coming out of a northern town called Rusi, and we're on the wrong side of the road to us, so we were on the right side of the road, and unfortunately the snowplow coming the other way was on the wrong side of the road coming towards us, and it took us a while to realise this, but that's how they are. You know, they get on, get a job done, and everybody lives in their own little environment, so just expect the unexpected. If you're going to be going down the Black Sea coast, which I think you guys are doing, you're going to have some lovely scenery, some great coastal scenery. You're going to be travelling on good roads. Those roads there are great. They're good tarmac roads all the way down through that side. If you're travelling inland, which is where we're going to be coming up through central Bulgaria when we come back up through Yambol and across Razgrad and up to Rusi, then obviously we're going to be on some of these little more untamed roads. And we're expecting that of Romania as well. And obviously I think as we hit eastern Turkey in our journey, I think we've got to expect that the roads are going to be very similar. They're going to be potholy, and I've heard the stories of vehicles on roads on a night with no lights on that have just been left, and so I think travelling into the night in Romania, in Bulgaria and Turkey probably isn't the most advisable unless you have to do it.
One of my thoughts was like taking not just inner tubes but also taking the entire tires with us as well, just to cover us on the safe side, because it might be difficult to get tires in Bulgaria or in Turkey. What's your opinion on that? You know Bulgaria better than me.
I mean, I'm the same ilk. I think we should be alright for tyres in major cities. Bulgaria, we've got Varna and Burgas, and also Sofia push if you had to go that far inland. And I think in the major cities, Istanbul would be alright for tyres. I'm doing the same. My lads will be doing the same. We're running the Metzlers. I'll have a pair of Metzlers with me, and I'll have tubes with me.
So we're here at the Touareg stand at the Ace Cafe, and we're speaking to Nick Plumb about long distance motorcycling. He himself is a rally rider and he's travelled abroad many times on his motorcycle. So Nick, what are some of your thoughts about riding abroad on a motorcycle and doing it on a motorcycle rather than doing it by car or by bus?
Well, I think the main thing is the freedom you get, and there's so many motorcycles out there, adventure motorcycles, that are kitted up to do it. If you take the BMW R1200 GS, which tends to be one of the bikes that a lot of people tend to do their trips on, not only is a bike solid, but where we come into it as Touratech, we try to personalise these bikes so that they're for the individual. So we look at the bikes first and then get them, so whether you're tall, whether you're short like yourself, you know, so you've got your lower seats, and then we try and kit the bikes out depending on where you're going. So if you're going over to Europe, or you're going to Africa, or you're going further afield, is where we would then start looking at bikes and maybe putting the panniers on them, the lights and the protection. No matter whether you're heading off to Europe or into Africa, I think the terrains that you find in these different places is amazing. I think adventure motorcycling is yeah, I've been into bikes since I was 14 years old, and it was always into rallies and stuff. Now I'm getting a little bit older, I'm kind of starting to appreciate just getting on a bike and getting outside the UK, and whether it only be Europe, it's still an adventure, you know. As soon as you jump on a motorcycle, you don't know what might happen, you know. An adventure is about the problems that arise as you go along and the people that you meet. So the more and more people that are wanting to do stuff like that is great for us, and I think great for the motorcycle in general, to be honest with you.
Okay, thank you very much.
One of the things about overlanding is that you don't have to be hugely experienced to be able to do it. The most important thing is that you've got a strong enough dream. When you've got a strong enough dream, then that will get you through an awful lot of hard times out there on the road, because you do get hard times, but it's that old saying, the hard times always make the good times feel better. One of the things that I like really the most about travelling on a motorcycle is that when you're on the back of a bike, you're out there in all of the elements. All of your senses work. You smell things, you feel the temperature changes, and you've not got a glass and metal box between you and the people that whose countries you're travelling through. It makes you a lot more approachable, particularly in second and third world countries, because in those countries, of course, a lot of people are really used to travelling on the backs of trucks and beaten up old buses and that sort of thing. So there's not such a big social gap between you and them. But of course there is a certain amount, because you're on a big Western motorcycle, but that matters less.
People can be quite happy with the way the motorcycles come straight from the factory and add just minimal luggage, but some people want to do more with their motorcycles and add protective equipment, which they choose from various catalogs of the various accessories companies like Touratech, for example. And these companies provide navigational equipment, cockpit upgrades and luggage systems. We see here, for example, catalogs from Touratech, which provides all these accessories. Those people wishing to do a longer journey, like Simon Manicom did, but don't have the time to actually ride all the way out there, can book a tour with one of the various tour companies, have their motorcycle either shipped out there or rent a motorcycle in the country that they're wishing to travel to. And so this makes riding all over the world possible for almost everybody. And then some people decide to manufacture their own accessories, like this Moto Guzzi rider here. And he's planning to ride around the world for a long period of time. And we see here that he's made his own canisters for petrol, cockpit modifications, and his own luggage, which gives the motorcycle a very, very unique look.
No matter whether you're heading off to Europe or into Africa, I think the terrains that you find in these different places is amazing. Places are accessible to anybody. Our kind of field tends to be the adventure market, the main kind of bikes that people want to do these trips on. So yeah, I would say get on your bike, phone Touratech and start your adventure from there.